how's everyone doing? I am Rich Celenza. Thanks for checking out the Rich Celenza Show. So what I want to get into today is experimentation with your life, because I don't think a lot of people do this, especially when coming on middle-aged. I think a lot of us get stuck in ruts or doing the same shit over and over and over again. Now, I get it. I'm not going to lie, because I am middle-aged, and there's a lot of things I know that I'd like to do, especially when it comes to, say, restaurants, or just doing certain things, like as far as a routine, what I'm going to eat for breakfast, maybe where I'm going to, go for lunch, what time I'm going to have coffee or a smoothie. But put that all aside. What I think I'm really trying to say is, if you are not happy regarding certain things, you're going to have to change. And I think experimenting is the way to go, because I think when a lot of people hear change, they get pissed. They're like, well, I've already done it all. I've already done this. I've done that. Never seems to work out. And instead of looking at it like making a major change, again, let's just experiment. I talk about a lot of this with fitness, because people either do a certain type of workout and quit, or they keep going to a certain type of place and they quit. And then even if they kind of like what they're doing something, they eventually burn out, because again, I tell them, you just have to experiment. It doesn't have to be major either. And in this case, same type of situation where, say I love Italian food. My daughters know this. Everybody knows it. My girlfriend, I was programmed that way. And I always say, we go out to eat all the time. Hey, what do you guys, what do you want? Where do you want to eat? They ask me. I'm like, it's very simple. You know where I want to go. Then they're like, oh, I don't want to do Italian. I don't want to do this or that. I'm like, fine, then pick. And of course, I'll pick different places as well, but that's what I like. But like the other day, we went for some different type of food, and normally I wouldn't do it, but I know one of my daughters, I took her there the other day, and I was okay with it. I really just had a drink, and then she wanted to take me back and take her sister, so I went and tried it. It was okay. And I just remember sitting there saying, I got to practice what I preach a little bit too. I experimented. And I experiment a lot with them, I guess you could say. That doesn't mean I have to give up on my, Italian food. I think sometimes, too, when we try to maybe make changes in our lives or experiment, we feel like we're almost betraying ourselves, or, we're just not comfortable. Sometimes we have to understand that it first becomes uncomfortable to become comfortable. You may like to try a different type of food if you never did. You may like to go to, I don't care if maybe you were raised in a certain religion and you don't, you're not very fond of it anymore. You may want to go try a different church. And believe me, I'm not the most religious person in the world. You may just like to go, I don't mean in the sense of experiment, but yeah, go visit a different church. Go meet different people. That could go for, and we've been talking about a lot, me and, a lot of other people that I deal with, kind of opening up. And, if you, regardless of what political party you're on, hypothetically, what side you're on, regarding many different things, you only may, for instance, only go to meetings that represent your values and your opinions. And I get it 100%, but maybe going to check and go somewhere else to listen to another side, that again doesn't mean you're betraying your side, but maybe just to get a different perspective and see, what are they talking about? Because you're always probably most likely, when experimenting or pivoting, you're learning, right? And a lot of times you may learn, hey, you know what? I went to this restaurant, or I went and tried this. This is not for me, right? You learned about it, right? But it was kind of an adventure. So I just wanted to do a podcast on this, because I see a lot of people too in life, and if you know anything about me, I'm trying to help people build confidence a lot of times. If you're confident, a lot of times, if you're trying to build confidence, again, start small and it will lead to bigger things. I don't care if you go to Starbucks and you always get a certain type of drink. Hey, let's try a different drink today. Don't let it ruin your day if it doesn't taste as good. Always go back to the other one. But if you're kind of sick of drinking the same type of coffee, or you're kind of, like I said, it's just not working for you anymore, but it's just become either, a habit to a certain degree. And that's the one thing I'm going to wrap up here too a little bit with is, it's funny how we could start habits, and they're habits that, for instance, it's not like a habit of saying smoking, drinking, or gambling, but we just may have a habit of not experimenting, not pivoting when we should, not, again, doing things also that we may like to do and we're afraid to do. Because a lot of us, from what I see, use excuses to stop us from doing things we also like to do. I think there's a ton of people out there that want to try different things. They want to experiment. But again, they're afraid. Or, like I said, they're going to come up with an excuse. It costs too much money. I don't know anybody. If I do this, what's that going to lead to? If it's kind of the fear of the unknown. And I get it 100%. But if you truly are not happy in your life, and I've always heard this expression, sometimes you got to be so miserable, that's when it forces you to change. Why does it have to get to that point? And also, why do you have to be miserable sometimes to make changes? When things are going good a lot of times, I believe, or even in the middle, or even bad, whatever, try different things. I'll just say this. My friends, a lot of them in Chicago, dealt with the stock market. And when they were making a killing many years ago for a long time, and they would say, I'm burning out, I'm tired, but I'm making all this money. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm not a businessman, but now is the time to start getting prepared to learn or make another move maybe. Because what are you going to be 5 or 10 years down the line? If you're already burnt out and exhausted and they were just starting families and they were doing it for a long time, I said, listen, you also have to understand at the bottom of her falls out, right? But I'd say almost all of them never listened to me, and I get it. They were making a killing. Then when, it was actually at the Board of Trade in the Merc, which I don't even know if anybody's there anymore. So it started to decline less and less and less. And now they're scrambling because now they're freaking out because now they're afraid to make a move because now they keep making less and less money, and they go back and keep trying to make the money they did in the past. Before you know it, it depletes, and now they're barely making any money. Now they started a family. They may have saved some money, but all these guys, when they were making a ton of money and spending a ton of money and living a certain lavish lifestyle, which I have been there, right? They really could have, at that point in time, experimented in different businesses or tried different things. So if you're like that, I think, and I think a lot of us are, when the times are good, that's when I think maybe it is time to, like I said, experiment with different things, especially if you're, even though you're successful a lot of times, that doesn't mean you're happy. And you'd be shocked sometimes. You may go into something else, even when you're making a lot of money or doing relatively well. If you started to go after something maybe you were passionate about, just go for it and take your time. If you look at a lot of our careers or things we've done in life, it took us time to make money. It took us time to build up these habits, good or bad. And it's going to take time to try new different things to see if they work out or not. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you got something out of this, but don't be afraid to, I don't even mean change, but yeah, don't be afraid to change sometimes. Don't get wrapped up in an identity to a certain degree. And that even goes for cigarettes, drinking, whatever. I get it. A lot of us, we do certain things because our friends may do it, family members and colleagues. But if you want to quit or do something different, then maybe you should really, figure out what's best for you and explain to your friends, hey, guys, because I went through this. Hey, I know we all go for cigars once a week, whatever. I'm going to go have a drink with you. I got to back up on the cigars. They're going to understand, even though sometimes I still have a cigar. But, I just want people to really acknowledge kind of what I went through. But please do not be afraid to make changes. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. If you get a chance, check out my YouTube channel, Rich Celenza. I talk about a lot of different things, a lot of fitness things lately, but I've also traveled all over North America. I do stuff on confidence, hygiene. I just do different subject matters a lot of times on many different things, trying to just help people. I'm also on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All right, take care, and I wish you nothing but the best. Hey, and while I got you here, maybe try experimenting, listen to different podcasts, different types of music, all different types of stuff. It's all out there. You just got to go find it.